Are you a planner and an organizer?
Yes, I am definitely a planner and organizer. I think that's what I'm probably most fulfilled doing, is planning and organizing, which I guess makes sense, because in a sense that's what a screenplay is, just an organized plan for an emotional journey. You know, I'm constructing essentially a train that the audience is going to ride, and I'm planning out every little minute detail of that ride, and then trying to hide the audience from the rails in the car. And I'm using empathy as a misdirection for that. So I like knowing the destination and then constructing the path to it, and then sort of hiding that path for the audience.
Interesting. And so, do you always know the ending when you start writing a story?
I always know the ending when I start drafting. When I first am thinking about a story, I don't necessarily know the ending. And I'm scribbling a bunch of notes, what might be the ending, what might be a scene. I do a lot of note-taking and a sort of loose, free thought of whatever that I'm interested in, this project. I'm just trying to collect as much as possible kind of out of my brain about what's interesting me about that thing. And then I'll do a treatment, and I'll do that treatment over and over and over until it gets to a point where I feel like that's the story I want to write. And then I'll go to a draft. So by the time I'm going to a draft, I know the ending, but I also know everything leading up to it. And so my first drafts I can usually write pretty quick, but that's because I just spent months writing a treatment over and over and over, and it's different versions, and I'm tweaking different little things so that everything as a whole is fitting together. So in the draft, I have a lot of room to explore those nooks and crannies, particularly when it comes to those character idiosyncrasies and just little lines of dialogue, because I know that as a whole, this story will arrive at this natural conclusion, or what should feel like a natural conclusion. Obviously, I've contrived it, but I feel good that I've set up the pieces so that it will necessarily arrive there and not elsewhere.
Do you think planning and organizing is one of your strengths, or are there times you wish you could be less of a planner?
There are times when I wish that I was a little bit freer in my writing. I started taking improv classes as a tool to be less in my head and more present and just open to possibilities. And it's been really helpful, both personally and then also in my writing.
Interesting, okay. Because you would think most writers would have the opposite problem, where they were just, that they weren't able to get on task. Mm-hmm. And so I find that interesting.
I think that I try to plan the times in which I'm freely thinking.
Okay.
So
you still plan then. Yeah.
So I'm still planning, but in my notebook, I'm saying, all right, I'm gonna just freehand write this scene. And I don't know if it's gonna be in the movie. I don't even know who these characters are. Sometimes it's just like character A, character B, but I'm just writing whatever, because it doesn't have to exist within the film yet. So there's a little bit of a freedom there that allows me to just explore different things. And then when I'm taking that notebook, which has a bunch of different things, and I'm looking through, all right, what, after months of doing this, what am I still responding to? What am I still interested in? That scene that actually, I thought I was interested in that, but I'm not. And so it's good because I'm not wasting time in the draft of writing that scene when it has to fit into a larger structure of the screenplay. I have that more abstractly. So I've planned that time to do that and to let myself free associate and just kind of see where characters and lines of dialogue and set pieces and everything is going. And then taking that into a treatment, I get to pick and choose, and now I get to organize all these thoughts that I've collected.